Next News. Breaking news.
Christopher Nolan's new Odyssey adaptation is already exploding online, and the rumors are worse than anyone expected. Reports suggest Elliot Page may be playing Achilles, the ultimate Greek warrior, while Helen of Troy gets rewritten against every description Homer left us. This is not creative liberty. It's an attack on the exact words that build Western literature. Fair-tressed Helen and the raging son of Perilous are being turned into 2026 talking points. Elon Musk already called it twisted. The backlash is roaring before cameras even roll. Is Hollywood ready? And are they about to vandalize the foundation of our culture? This matters because Homer's epics are not blank slates. They define heroism, beauty, and Western identity that generations of Americans grew up respecting. When studios swap biological women for male warriors and bleach historical descriptions to chase DEI points, they teach kids that our shared past is optional. Communities lose touch with the stories that shaped law, literature, and leadership. Politically, it signals that any ancient text can be bent to modern activism, erasing the specific Greek world that gave us the ideals that we still defend. The divide grows clearer every time. Either these works stay true to their authors or they become tools for today's culture war. The stronger the pushback, the more it shows Americans refuse to let Hollywood rewrite what made the West exceptional. While cultural battles rage, uncertainty in the world keeps climbing. And here's what your financial advisor won't tell you. By the time the news tells you to buy gold, it's too late. You're waiting, I get it, everyone's waiting to see if the ceasefire holds, waiting to see if the Strait of Hormuz reopens, waiting to see what happens next. But gold's not waiting for you. It moves on fear, instability, and on the unknown. It moves faster than you can react. So while you're waiting for certainty, the rest of the world is planning for what comes next. You can protect your savings with physical gold and silver from Noble Gold Investments. Visit nextnewsgold.com, link below, or call that number on the screen today to get your free wealth protection kit before the next wave of headlines hits. Now back to the story. See, the reaction from Elon Musk and others proves this is no fringe rumor. Musk labeled the Achilles casting one of the dumbest and twisted ideas he's heard. Other voices point out that the Iliad itself begins with Achilles refusing to fight because a king stole his woman. The exact masculine rage now being handed to Elliot Page. This is not random. This is the final attempt to finish what earlier rewrites started. And Elliot Page is the new incarnation of this actor, previously known as Elliot Page from Juno, if you recall. So, Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, they're out. Elliot Page cast as Achilles. Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. You can't make this stuff up. I don't put it past Hollywood, though, right? This isn't a bold reinterpretation. It's straight up blasphemy against Homer's original text. And another example of Hollywood going full woke and rewriting ancient history to fit modern ideology. Here, I'll just show you this. This is the headline. The Odyssey rumors claim Elliot Page as Achilles and Lupita Nyong'o as Helen of Troy. All right? You look at your screen. You tell me. All right? I'll continue. In Homer's Odyssey, Book 15, Helen is explicitly described as fair-tressed Helen, the fair-haired beauty. When Menelaus rises from beside her, rising from his couch from beside fair-tressed Helen. Moments later, as she presents a gift to Telemachus, she is called fair-cheeked Helen. And fair-cheeked Helen came up with the robe in her hands. That's what the actual ancient texts declare. These are not throwaway lines. Fair-tressed evokes radiant, flowing, blonde, or light hair. Fair-cheeked paints her as the epitome of classical Greek beauty. Fair-skinned, luminous, the most desired woman in the ancient world. The same epithets and imagery of white-armed, golden hair perfection appear throughout the Iliad and the Odyssey. That's not my opinion. That is the text. Achilles, meanwhile, the ultimate male Greek warrior hero, casting a biological female, as the raging son of Peleus is just as absurd as turning the fair Helen into something she was never described as. This is not about representation, it's about erasing the specific cultural and physical reality Homer gave us so Hollywood can check DEI boxes and pretend ancient myths were blank slates for 2026 politics. Greek epics were not written to be inclusive, they were written to immortalize a people, a time, and a vision of beauty and heroism. If Nolan's team is seriously considering this, they should reread the source material instead of just desecrating it. Fidelity to Homer is greater than woke fan fiction. Read the Odyssey, the text is still there, it doesn't need rewriting. That is what we posted earlier today. And it's wild. My son brought this to my attention. He's like, did you see what they did to the Odyssey? I couldn't believe it. We had a long discussion at the dinner table about it. So I posted this, really disappointed to hear this, but not surprised. Not at all. Elon Musk had this. Chris Nolan has lost his integrity. Musk agrees Nolan lost his integrity, but points straight to the Iliad's core plot points that make the casting impossible. Sparta launched a war against Troy over a woman, and Achilles refused to continue fighting because the Spartan king took his woman. These are the two biggest plot points in the Iliad. The two biggest plot points in the Iliad line up with what Musk just flagged, yet some are still trying to spin Achilles as something else entirely. These two books were disastrous for humanity and the study of the ancients. I guess this book, this movie, the new film is based on these interpretations. Madeline Miller convinced leftists that Achilles and Patroclus were gay lovers, and Wilson translated the Iliad to implicitly hint at this. Christopher Nolan's Odyssey is the final straw to ruin Homer. These are the two books that are apparently, people are claiming that this new book, this new film is drawing inspiration from. And what's really sad is I was looking forward to this movie. I really wanted to see it. And then I hear this news and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I'm like, I thought we were past this woke garbage. You know, I expect it from Disney. But Christopher Nolan, come on, dude. Miller and Wilson's books already pushed this gay lover rewrite. And next voice says Nolan's films is the final blow to Homer. Achilles, the great warrior in Western literature, slayer of Hector, rage incarnate, played by Elliot Page. This is not representation, it's cultural erasure dressed up as progress. They're not adapting the Odyssey, they're vandalizing it. Next, they'll cast a non-binary Poseidon and demand we clap for inclusivity. The Greeks would have laughed this off Olympus. Clown world is undefeated. And the memes are already coming out. Here's the Hollywood casting department for the Odyssey. Oh, Elliot Page as Achilles, the new adaptation. Groundbreaking, so brave, love it. Checking off all the inclusion boxes. No one cares about accuracy anymore. Make it relevant. Really, who cares? Tears of the purists. And then, of course, one of the dumbest and twisted things I've ever heard. Elon Musk posting that. And this person, Achilles, the greatest of all Greek warriors, tall and striking, strong with blonde hair. Hollywood, let's cast a little girl, you know, the one from the teen pregnancy movie Juno. Another one weighing in. Wait, Achilles as Elliot Page? Homer's epic warrior was all about raw masculine fury. Achilles' wrath kicks off the whole Iliad. Swapping that for modern identity politics feels like rewriting Gravity. Raw masculine fury defined the character, but swapping it for identity politics draws the direct comparison. Now this is the 2004 version. You can see Helen of Troy and Achilles. And here's the 2026 version. There's your 2026 version, guys. The biggest downgrade they've seen. And this is what Unheard posts. Over the weekend, online reports suggested Achilles might be played by a trans actor, Elliot Page, in the new film adaptation of Odyssey. The idea isn't outrageous as it seems. Elon Musk responding to that. One of the dumbest and twisted things I've ever heard. I'm just disappointed. I'm not shocked, but I was actually looking forward to seeing this movie. And now, and what's funny is I went to the IMDb for this. I'm like, it can't be true. Can't be true. So I go to the IMDb, and sure enough, those actors are listed in the IMDb, but under their names is not the character who they play. Everyone else has the characters they play. Every other actor has their role, but those two did not. Clearly intentionally hiding it from the public on IMDb. Woke Hollywood, right? So the real meaning, it hits hard. This is not about a movie. It's a direct assault on the foundational texts that define American heritage and Western strength. By recasting ancient heroes to fit current identity politics, Hollywood tries to sever the connection between Americans and the stories that built our civilization. The establishment wants you to accept it as progress. The truth is, it is erasure, plain and simple. The growing roar from viewers shows we will not let it stand. So Hollywood keeps on testing how far it can push before Americans push back harder. This time the line is clear. Leave Homer alone. We refuse to watch our greatest stories turned into propaganda. So share this report, drop your thoughts in the comments, and let them know that we are paying attention. Is this casting an outright insult to Western heritage? Tell me yes or no in the comments. And text raw feed to 844-840-4963 to get direct updates straight to your phone and beat the algorithm like hundreds of other patriots are already doing. And check out the Next News merch shelf below this video for the latest gear. Stay vigilant. We're going to keep fighting for the truth and the culture that made America great.
The system controls information. Information control is power.
They don't want you to see this.
The truth only survives together. They don't want this shared. Share this now.